Hello, welcome back to Zekism. So, President Trump, I was going to say Prince Trump then. President Trump he's done it. He's announced a renewed threat to impose 100% tariffs on non-US made movies. That's quite a bit. That's quite a number, to be honest. This comes to us via the BBC, but everyone's reporting on it now. Donald Trump has repeated his threat to impose a 100% tariff on all films not made in the US, claiming that the American industry has been stolen by other countries. He said on Monday that California had been heavily affected and the levy would solve this long-time, never-ending problem. In May, the US president said he would talk to Hollywood executives about his plan and begin the process of imposing the levy because America's film industry was dying a very fast death. Trump's remarks come as he announced a new wave of tariffs last week, including a 100% levy on branded or patented drug imports, as well as 50% levies on kitchen and bathroom cabinets. He said on his Truth Social platform, "Our movie-making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries, just like stealing candy from a baby." I'm, obviously, you can tell by my accent, a UK resident. I'm British born and bred. And yes, I don't want to say stolen, but certainly there's been incentives, heavy financial incentives, as I reported last week, with Disney pocketing about $2.2 billion in returned costing by the UK government over the last 15 years for filming or making films here in the UK. That obviously boosts our job market and our economy and our film industry, to be perfectly honest, and has been sort of, I guess, subsidising it to a certain extent. I'm sure loads of other countries have financially sort of incentivised movie studios to go over there as well, to their countries. And so, yeah, the Hollywood, for multitude of reasons, are in the red in terms of losing money. Studios are moving out of Hollywood even because of costing. So as much as the incentivized manner of trade has been an issue in terms of Hollywood sort of, I don't want to say dying, but taking a hit, certainly the issue of filming in America has been part of the issue as well. So I don't necessarily know how this is part of fixing the issue, because California is still going to be expensive to shoot in regardless of these tariffs, right? So the reason that if put it this way, if a film was cheaper to be made in America or equal costing, then guess what? They'd film in America. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference to studios. They're looking for bang for their buck. And I'm sure President Trump deep down knows this, but I'm sure what we're about to talk about is nothing to do with it. California, with its weak and incompetent governor, we know who that is, Governor Gavin Newsom, has been particularly hard hit. He said the 100% tariff will be imposed on any and all movies that are made outside of the US. That's a vast deal with the big name ones. Trump did not say when the tariff will come into force or what the tariffs are, to be perfectly honest. The White House has been approached for a comment. It is also unclear if the tariffs would apply to films on streaming services, such as Netflix, as well as those shown in cinemas, or how they would be calculated. Dan Coatsworth, investment analyst at AJ Bell, questioned how such a tax would work, given tariffs are typically imposed on goods, and said many filmmakers were choosing to shoot films in other countries because of better incentives. They don't really answer this in the article anyway, but it's. I was trying to research what the tariff would be penalising, if that makes sense, what they would be charging in terms of the cost. So if a film is made outside of America, what are they tariffing? The fact that it wasn't made there, or the fact that they're selling it there? It's an interesting sort of legal case, but seemingly they don't know the answer either, because the details haven't been released. He's just sort of released this tweet, this Truth Social post, and here we are. We're all discussing it. The threat of 100% tariffs on movies made outside the US raises more questions than it does answers. Filmmakers have been progressively lured by tax incentives that come from shooting movies in other parts of the world, and the LA film industry has lost its glitz and glamour. I mean, the answer to this would be financially incentivize them to make it in America more, right? That would be if you're combating trade with trade. I mean, we're talking about the nation of capitalists, right? This is what this is. Mr. Coatsworth said it would be difficult to define an American-made movie if a film were to be shot in the US but have foreign actors, directors, or funding. We have a similar issue with the. It's not the same issue, but BAFTA rewarding British films, and then what classes as a British film? An American-funded movie with British actors and British filmmakers, or a British? You know what I mean? It's an interesting dilemma. So I think that he's right to bring that up. It's hard to understand just how Trump intends to impose the levy. Theoretically, being forced to produce movies in the US could push up their costs. Content makers would pass on this cost to the customer, and that would hurt demand for streaming companies and cinema operators. He said investors did not appear to see this as a serious threat at present. Stocks for companies such as Netflix and Disney dipped briefly and then bounced back. I'm not sure. I mean, this is famous last words, so I don't actually want to predict too much, but it's hard to know how. It's hard to see, how this is going to be enforced. I really don't know how. I don't want to say he's going to lose this one, but I think he probably is going to lose this one. And I'm going to be proved wrong, no doubt. But that's just the gut feel. Is, well, how the hell do you define an American film? I mean, like I said, they go into several major examples: Wicked, Deadpool, Wolverine, Gladiator 2. The US remains a major film production hub globally despite challenges, according to movie industry research firm Prod Pro. Its annual report showed the country saw £14.54 billion of production spending last year, but that was down by 26% since 2022. Countries that have attracted an increase in spending since 2022 include Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the UK. There's others. There's I think France is doing this as well. So similar sort of incentives. And whether they like it or they don't, and certainly it's something he wants to fix to sort of, this is editorial, wave it in Gavin Newsom's face. He fixed Hollywood and he didn't. I just a hunch. But nevertheless, I think this is me sort of spitballing and editorializing here. I mean, it does seem a weird path to go down. Like I said, rather than fix the issue that, well, why aren't they filming in America? Well, it's financial. Easy. It's financial. So why is it cheaper to film in Britain, for example? Ship everyone out. Ship, American filmmakers and American crew to a certain extent. Hire some, the sort of menial jobs such as techies and people behind the scenes that would be in terms of construction rigging, maybe lighting guys from the native country, but mostly, and I know this from experience because friends of mine do work on productions here in the UK from American film studios, and there are Americans on that set that they flew over, put up, it's a weird sort of, and then how do you define? Well, I tell you what, 25% of that film was shot on location outside of America, but 75% of it was shot in, say like an Ocean's 11 film, right? Would that get penalized with a 100% tariff? Even though, it was shot on location, 25% in Monte Carlo, 75% was in Vegas. What happens there? I mean, it's like I said, he's right to point out this Dan Coatsworth, that it does invite more questions than answers. And it'll be an interesting sort of a result, I think. And like I said, I don't want to predict because I'll look stupid, but that's fine. There's no change there. I just don't see this working. But then I've said that about a couple of things that the president's done, and I've been proved dead wrong. But yeah, this is a weird solution to the problem, which is the American film industry sort of being minimized, in TV production as well. But like I said, Netflix is a global. It is an American company, but it's a global platform. What are they going to do with streaming things? Because they're broadcast, streamed internationally, and you know what's going to happen now? There's now going to be the fight back begins where tariffs will put in American studios, put in their stuff, and it just like this will. I don't know how long this will take to sort of, in my opinion, peter away, but I think it will peter away. Or there'll be some sort of announcement that's like, hey, we've announced a deal of something. I don't know what deal you do here, but oh, by the way, we've sort of, we've done a deal, and so there's now more income going into the American film industry. I don't know what that will be, but there'll be some sort of about face to sort of save his and the administration's blushes as a result of this post, and probably some sort of deal to sort of say, hey, we took it to those countries who are stealing our jobs, sort of thing. And anyway, whatever. That's just me editorializing. Again, trying not to be political here. I'm just reporting on film news. This is interesting film news, in my opinion. Yeah, in my opinion, it's not going to go anywhere. Anyway, what do you think? Am I on to a hide into nothing, or am I Bob on the money? It's up for debate. Let me know in the comment sections below. Please leave me a like or subscribe on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.